Welcome to Tick Drop Watch Everything. Find us at tickdrop.com and on all podcast platforms.
Yeah.
So imagine a piece of stainless steel that, just tells the time. That's literally it.
Right. Yeah.
And it originally retailed for roughly the price of a nicely equipped, maybe slightly used Honda Civic. But today, that exact same piece of steel is locked in a vault somewhere, trading hands for the price of a 4-bedroom house.
It's completely surreal when you put it like that. I mean, it really is.
Right. But that is exactly what we're dealing with today. Because, well, it's April 2026. The entire watch world is descending on Geneva right now. And the rumors aren't just swirling. They are moving literally millions of dollars overnight.
Oh, absolutely millions.
Yeah, so our mission today is to cut right through that noise. We're getting into the massive shakeups, the disappearing icons, and the returning legends that are, frankly, defining this year's horological landscape.
It's the biggest week of the year, hands down.
It really is. I mean, just picture the scene for a second. It's the eve of Watches and Wonders, April 13th, 2026. You're sitting in the hushed, low-lit bar at the Bourvège Hotel.
Great spot, by the way.
Oh, the best. And all around you, there are these intense, whispered conversations. Gray market dealers are sweating through their tailored suits. People are frantically refreshing watch forms on their smartphones. Just trying to catch a leaked image.
Everyone's looking for that one blurry factory photo.
Exactly. And just a few miles away, inside the massive Palexpo Convention Center, there are blackout curtains hiding the display cases. The tension is incredibly palpable. I mean, 66 brands are about to lift the veil.
It's a powder keg of anticipation out there, but the match that's about to light it isn't the executives in the boardrooms. It's the steel and gold sitting quietly in those safes.
Yes. Man, that is exactly it. And the conversations in that hotel bar, they all seem to orbit around a few very specific pieces of metal.
Always do.
Always. So let's just visualize them for a second, starting with the ghost itself. The
Yep.
Rolex GMT Master 2 Pepsi reference, 12679 BLRO.
The icon.
Right, you know it. It's got that iconic red and blue ceramic bezel. It's the ultimate globetrotter's watch. It exudes this effortless jet set cool. But right now, it's vanishing from authorized dealer windows like it never even existed.
It really has become a total phantom in the supply chain. You just don't see it.
You don't. Then, you walk across the room and you hear people arguing about the Patek Philippe Nautilus, Gérald Genta's legendary 1976 porthole design.
5711.
Yeah, the horizontal embossed dial, the integrated bracelet. It was originally designed to be the ultimate stealth wealth piece, right?
Yeah.
The watch you wear on your yacht. But it accidentally became the loudest flex in the entire world.
It became the watch that buys you a yacht.
Exactly. The irony of the Nautilus is really something.
It's a victim of its own perfection, honestly.
It really is. And finally, the third one, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Jumbo Extra Thin. You've got the rebellious octagonal bezel, the exposed structural screws.
But not in steel this time.
Right. The version people are whispering about isn't steel. Picture it in this rumored futuristic titanium with a bulk metallic glass bezel. Just ultralight, technical, completely unapologetic.
That sounds incredible.
It does. So let's step back for a second. Why these three specifically? Why is the entire global watch market obsessing over these exact silhouettes right now?
Well, I mean, because they represent the three distinct strategies dominating the industry today. Scarcity, legacy, and spectacle.
Okay, I like that. Break that down for me.
Let's start with the scarcity, the Rolex Pepsi. For all intents and purposes, the Pepsi is basically dead. Authorized dealers just aren't getting them anymore.
At all.
Practically zero. They've been quietly disappearing, and the secondary market is reacting with absolute, unmitigated chaos. I mean, since January of this year alone, prices have jumped roughly $3,000.
That is insane for a watch that's theoretically still in production.
Right. You're looking at well over $26,000 for a steel Pepsi right now. Demand has surged, like 500%. It's an absolute frenzy.
Wait, hold on. I need to push back on this.
Yeah.
Because Rolex makes, what, 1 million watches a year?
Yeah.
Are they just artificially killing their golden goose?
It looks that way, right?
Yeah. I mean, this feels like sneaker drop culture.
Yeah.
Artificial scarcity just to pump the brand. Or are they actually clearing the runway for something else?
Well, see, that is the billion-dollar question everyone is asking. But you have to remember, Rolex doesn't do empty hype. They just don't. They do incredibly calculated transitions. And we really have to look at the manufacturing reality here.
Okay, what do you mean by manufacturing reality?
The red and blue ceramic bezel on the Pepsi, it is notoriously brutally difficult to produce.
Like, really? I always thought ceramic was just, baked and done, like pottery.
Not at all. Not when it's two-tone. To get a single piece of ceramic to be half perfectly red and half perfectly blue requires a complex chemical transition during the firing process in the kiln.
Oh, so it's a single piece. I always assumed it was two pieces glued together.
No, it's a single monolithic ring. And the pigments for red are highly unstable at those extreme temperatures. They tend to burn off or bleed into the blue or just turn this muddy, ugly brown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the yield rate, meaning the number of bezels that actually pass quality control, has always been a massive bottleneck for Rolex.
Okay, so they aren't just holding back stock to be cruel. They literally might just be tired of throwing away half the bezels they bake.
Exactly. It's an efficiency nightmare, and that writing on the wall points directly to a replacement. Specifically, the rumored Coke GMT, red and black.
That's a Coke. Man, people have been waiting for that for a long time.
It's been 17 years since we had a Coke bezel in the lineup. And Rolex recently secured the patents for a bicolor red and black ceramic process, which is, chemically speaking, much more stable to produce than the red and blue.
Okay, so we get a steel Coke GMT this year. Problem solved. Everyone's happy.
But here is the historical pattern you have to remember. Rolex almost never releases a new colorway in steel right out of the gate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. They release it in precious metal first to anchor it as a luxury item.
Precisely.
Like they did with the white gold Pepsi back in 2014 before finally giving us the steel one in 2018.
Spot on. So we are very likely looking at a white gold Coke GMT dropping this year. That leaves the steel Pepsi to ascend into discontinued legend status. It completely protects the brand's overall market equity.
That makes so much sense. Okay, but colorways and kiln temperatures are one thing. Let's talk about the actual mechanics because there's a huge tech shift happening under the hood right now, right?
Absolutely. And this brings us to the second massive Rolex rumor. The return of the Milgauss.
Yes. Scientists watch.
Exactly. The Milgauss turned 70 this year. It was quietly discontinued back in 2023. Now, we know Rolex doesn't just do nostalgia for the sake of it. An anniversary doesn't guarantee a watch.
Right. I mean, they let the Submariner's 70th anniversary pass without even a whisper. People were so mad.
They were. But Rolex needs a fundamental technical reason to resurrect a model.
So why the Milgauss now? What's the technical excuse?
Look at what happened last year in 2025 with the launch of the Land Dweller.
Oh, man, the honeycomb dial?
Yeah.
People were so divided on that watch.
Visually, yes, it was highly polarizing. But technically, the Land Dweller introduced the Dynapulse escapement, and that is the key to everything.
Okay, what does the Dynapulse do?
It uses highly advanced silicon components that are inherently natively anti-magnetic. Do you see where this is going?
Wait. Oh, okay, let me think about this. The whole point of the original Milgauss, the reason it was designed for scientists and engineers, was that it could withstand magnetic fields in labs, right?
Exactly.
But to do that, the old Milgauss was incredibly thick and clunky because it needed, what was it called?
A soft iron Faraday cage.
Yes, a Faraday cage.
It was essentially a metal vault built inside the watch case, surrounding the movement like a Russian nesting doll. It protected the gears from magnetism, but it added millimeters of bulk. It made the watch sit incredibly high and heavy on the wrist.
Oh, I see it. So with a Dynapulse-equipped movement, that bulky, soft iron cage is completely obsolete. The movement itself doesn't care about magnets anymore.
Exactly. This means Rolex can finally bring back the Milgauss as a beautifully thin, modern, highly wearable watch.
That's brilliant.
It's not just a dial color update, it's a fundamental engineering triumph. They've solved the physics problem that defined the watch 70 years ago. That justifies resurrecting it.
That is fascinating. So Rolex is essentially weaponizing the secondary market hype with the Pepsi, using that frenzy to their advantage while pushing real hard engineering with the Milgauss.
Exactly.
But that wild secondary market, that's exactly what Patek Philippe is treating like a virus right now, isn't it?
Oh, that is the perfect way to look at it. Because down the street in Geneva, Patek is facing the most difficult anniversary in the industry.
The Nautilus turning 50.
Yes. The Nautilus is 50. But Patek's CEO, Thierry Stern, explicitly killed the steel 5811 a few years ago. He then outright refused to bring it back as a steel 5811 because the hype just got too toxic.
See, I've always struggled to understand this. Why is hype toxic? Leaving that much money on the table? I mean, your fans are literally screaming for a steel sports watch.
I know, it sounds crazy from a pure profit perspective.
It feels like a legendary rock band refusing to play their greatest hit just to preserve their artistic integrity.
Right. It is exactly like that. But you have to understand the psychology of a heritage brand. Stern is adamant because he knows that if a brand becomes synonymous with only one steel watch, the rest of their catalog dies.
Oh, I see.
They make incredible grand complications, minute repeaters, enameled dials, but all anyone wanted was the steel Nautilus. It overshadowed 180 years of high horology.
Ah, so it's a survival tactic.
Yeah.
Protect the brand identity at all costs.
Precisely. Furthermore, Stern knows that if he drops a $30,000 steel 50th anniversary Nautilus tomorrow, it's just going to be bought by speculators and flipped on the gray market for $150,000 instantly.
Right, the real collectors wouldn't even get a chance.
Exactly. Patek doesn't want to make financial instruments for day traders. They want to make watches for actual collectors. So how do you celebrate the 50th anniversary without feeding the flippers?
You price them out. You make the retail price so high that the profit margin disappears.
Exactly. I predict we are going to see a precious metal Nautilus, platinum or maybe white gold, but loaded with a massive complication. Very likely a perpetual calendar.
Break that down for us real quick. Why does adding a perpetual calendar neutralize the speculators?
Because a perpetual calendar is a mechanical computer. It automatically adjusts for the length of every month, including leap years, without you ever having to touch the crown.
Which is wild when you think about it. Just gears and springs doing math.
It is. The sheer mechanical memory required for that, gears that only turn once every 4 years, is staggering. Because of that complexity, a platinum perpetual calendar Nautilus will retail for over $150,000 out the door.
Wow.
Plus, Patek can only physically manufacture a handful of them a year.
Right. So the guy looking to make a quick buck can't afford the buy-in, and even if he could, he can't get an allocation. The watch is guaranteed to only go to an established, serious collector who actually respects the engineering.
Exactly. But that leaves a void. If Patek is abandoning the entry-level steel luxury sports watch space, what fills it?
The Cubitus.
Cubitus. Patek launched the square-shaped Cubitus line in 2024 to incredibly mixed reactions.
That's putting it mildly. People lost their minds.
They did. It was their attempt to make a new steel sports watch that wouldn't cause a Nautilus-level riot. But to really legitimize the Cubitus this year, they need to give it horological credibility.
So what do?
We're very likely going to see a Cubitus with an annual calendar complication. It's slightly less complex than a perpetual. You have to adjust it once a year at the end of February. But it's a signature Patek complication. It elevates the Cubitus from just being a hyped shape to being a serious piece of watchmaking.
Okay, so we have Rolex playing chess with scarcity in tech, Patek wrestling with their own legacy and the psychology of the market. But then there's Audemars Piguet.
AP?
Yeah, AP. I honestly don't get their strategy here. They completely left the Geneva fairs back in 2019. They wanted to be totally exclusive to doing their own private AP days directly with clients. Now they're back, renting massive floor space at Watches and Wonders. It feels like a step backward to me.
It would be a step backward if they were just showing up with regular catalog updates.
Right.
But when a brand like Audemars Piguet returns after a 6-year absence and books a 1,200 square meter booth in the center of Plexpo, you don't do that quietly. You bring heavy artillery.
And that artillery is the Royal Oak Jumbo we were visualizing earlier, the titanium one?
Yes. The rumored titanium jumbo extra thin with the bulk metallic glass bezel.
That sounds so sci-fi.
It really does. For years, the Royal Oak line has been leaning into these heavy, chunky 43mm offshore cases. It got a bit stagnant, but AP knows the wind is shifting. A titanium jumbo is a massive flex of material science.
Okay, I have to ask.
Yeah.
What exactly is bulk metallic glass? Because it sounds like an oxymoron. Is it glass or is it metal?
It's an alloy, but it's not glass as you know it from a window.
Yeah.
Think about normal metals like steel or titanium.
Okay.
At a microscopic level, their atoms are arranged in neat, orderly crystalline structures. When you hit regular metal, those crystalline planes slide against each other. That's what a dent or a scratch is.
Oh, that makes sense. The atoms are literally shifting.
Exactly. But bulk metallic glass is an alloy that is cooled so incredibly fast during production that its atoms literally do not have time to form those neat crystalline structures. They freeze in a jumbled, amorphous mess just like glass. Yeah. And because there are no crystalline planes to slide against each other, the material is fundamentally scratch-proof. It just bounces back. It is lighter than titanium, but harder than almost anything else.
That is wild. So you get the lightness of a titanium case with a bezel that will literally never scratch, no matter how many door frames you accidentally bang it into.
Exactly. It proves that AP can still innovate in material science, not just endlessly iterate on the same steel octagon from 1972.
You know, let's unpack that shift in the wind you just mentioned. Because if we look at the legacy of all these moves, the Pepsi disappearing, the Milgauss thinning out, Patek protecting its high end, and AP using space-age alloys. What does this actually say about the watch world today? I feel like the collector community has matured so much in just the last few years.
Oh, it's a completely different landscape now. During the pandemic boom, people were buying anything with a crown or an AP logo on it, just throwing money around. But now, the money is smarter.
Right. People are just tired of lazy green dial limited editions. They're tired of these massive, chunky cases that you can't actually fit under a shirt cuff.
The demands have changed entirely. Wearability is king right now. Collectors are demanding smaller diameters. The sweet spot has moved firmly back to 36 to 39 millimeters.
Which is where it historically always was.
Exactly. They want lighter materials, like that titanium AP. And most importantly, they want actual, meaningful technical innovation.
Like the anti-magnetic Dynapulse in the Milgauss?
Yes.
Or the bulk metallic glass?
Yes. They want a reason to buy the watch beyond just flexing the logo on the dial. They want horological substance.
But we also have to talk about the weird paradox of availability.
Yeah.
Because it feels like availability, or the lack thereof, is now viewed as a core part of a brand's prestige. If a brand makes a beautiful watch, but literally no one can buy it at retail, does it even matter?
It creates a tremendous amount of resentment among real enthusiasts, I'll tell you that.
I bet.
But that is the grand, inescapable irony of this entire industry. The moment a watch isn't available, like the vanishing Rolex, Pepsi, basic human nature kicks in, the scarcity drives the hype to the moon.
People obsess over what they can't have.
Always. Rolex knows how to manage it, Patek fears it and tries to price it out, and AP is trying to engineer their way around it with sheer material spectacle.
It's a psychological battlefield.
Okay.
So bringing it all together, we've got the vanishing steel Pepsi, the rumored ultra-thin anti-magnetic Milgauss, the untouchable platinum Nautilus perpetual calendar, and the scratch-proof titanium AP Royal Oak. If you were walking out of Palexpo today, and you could only have one of these strapped to your wrist, which one are you actually taking?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, gun to your head.
For me, it has to be the platinum Nautilus with the perpetual calendar.
Really?
Yeah. It's just the absolute uncompromised pinnacle of horology. It respects the 50th anniversary history of the design, but that grand complication pushes it into a tier of high watchmaking that is undeniable. It's Patek saying, "We have nothing left to prove to the hype market. We are master watchmakers."
That's a strong case.
What about you? Are you taking the AP?
See, I respect the Patek, and the AP's metallic glass is incredibly cool, but I'm going with the Milgauss.
The Milgauss.
Yeah, give me the tech, give me the sleek, thin case with that Dynapulse escapement. I want a watch I can actually wear every single day without worrying about magnetizing it from my laptop or my phone. It's functional, it's got that weird Rolex quirkiness, especially if they bring back the orange lightning bolt seconds hand.
Yeah.
And it just feels like it's looking toward the future of engineering rather than protecting the past.
You know, it's a very fair point. The Milgauss is the ultimate engineer's watch, finally given the cutting-edge engine it always deserved.
Absolutely. Well, listen, as we wrap this deep dive up, I want to leave you with something to really chew on. When a stainless steel sports watch, a watch that was originally designed simply to help Pan Am pilots tell the time in 2 different time zones trades for the price of a house, you really have to ask yourself, are these brands still making tools for people to wear, or are they just minting alternative asset classes? That's it for today's Tick Drop. Find more at tickdrop.com, and we'll see you next drop.